The Indians are about to enter possibly their most important stretch of the season with 15 straight games against division opponents. First up, the red-hot Tigers, who have roared into first place in the AL Central. The Tribe sits 4 back of Detroit, but they've got an opportunity to claw back into things. Ubaldo Jimenez looks for his 3rd win of the season against Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers, and it's next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a showdown tonight at Progressive Field as the first-place Tigers come to town to tangle with the Tribe, and we've got all the action for you right here on STO. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Let's go back to the 4th of July. On that day, Detroit woke up 2 games below 500, 4.5 games out of first, and in 3rd place in the division. Since then, they have taken the league and the division by storm.
Well, you knew a team was going to get hot sooner or later, and it happened to be the Tigers. They've won 13 out of their last 15 games. They're doing it with good offense. They pitch very well, and they're doing it in the Central Division. Look at 8-0 the starters are, so you're going to have to make hay against them. You're going to have to play them awful tough, and you're going to have to score runs to beat them.
It would look like the Indians have the right guy on the mound to start this series because Ubaldo Jimenez has pitched well against the Tigers so far this year as we take a look at our Nissan road-ahead pitching matchup.
Well, this is what you want to do. You want to play from in front. Ubaldo had 5 good innings until it fell apart in his last start. He has to go out there against a tough lineup. You don't want to give him any base runners or walks, but he is 2-0 against them this year with a 284 earned run average. We'll see if he can get it started on the right foot again tonight.
Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites.
He will be pitching against a guy that has been very hot, too. Won his last 3 starts, Doug Fister. He was on the DL earlier in the year with a little left side strain. He had a no decision against the Indians earlier, but this is a guy when he's got it working, he's got the good curveball, a sinker. He's a tall guy. When he gets it throwing downhill, he can be awfully tough to beat.
Indians have beaten the Tigers 5 out of 6 so far this year. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going their way. It's game 1 of a 3-game showdown, and it's next on Sports Time Ohio. Sports Time Ohio is brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. A gorgeous night in downtown Cleveland for baseball as the Indians take the field to battle the Tigers. Game time temperature 78 degrees under perfectly clear blue skies. Ubaldo Jimenez will make the start for the Indians. And let's take a look at Jim Leyland's starting 9 for Detroit, brought to you by Kia. Austin Jackson leading it off, followed by the left-handed hitting Quentin Berry. Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Delman Young occupy the middle, followed by Brennan Bosch. then Johnny Peralta, Alex Avila, and recently reacquired Omar Infante.
Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound for the Indians, brought to you by MLB.com at Bet12 for the new iPad. Jimenez making his 20th start. He is 8-9 on the year, 524 earned run average. In his last 2 starts, he has struggled. He's given up 14 hits, 9 walks in 8 innings. But he has beat the Tigers twice this year. He's 2-0 with a 2.84 ERA in his 12 2/3 innings. He's given up 10 hits, walked 7, 6 strikeouts. So we'll see if he can get him off to a good start today. Let's check out the defense behind Jimenez tonight. It looks like this. Damon, Brantley, and Chu in the outfield. It'll be Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman on the infield with Santana behind the plate.
Marvin Hudson to call the balls and strikes. Brian Runge at first. Crew chief Tim McClellan at second. Ted Barrett down at third. Jim Leyland has watched his club completely turn their season around over the last couple of weeks as Austin Jackson looks at a strike. Jimenez fires and Jackson bloops it toward right. Kipnis flying out, can't get to it. And Austin Jackson playing in his first game against the Indians this year. A .299 career hitter against the Tribe, starts it off with a bloop single to right.
Well, it was a good pitch. He jammed him. It got it down on the trademark. Jackson just fights it off, gets it over the head of Jason Kipnis, and bloops it in for a base hit. So they get it started with a single. Yeah, we saw Quentin Berry, who is up here now. They called him up the last time they played here to replace Jackson, who was on the disabled list.
Berry, left-handed bat. One of 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup for Jim Leyland tonight. Takes a strike. .279 hitter. Good wheels defensively in the outfield. He can definitely run them down.
And these are primarily the 2 base stealers for the Tigers when you're talking about them.
Kochman goes to second. They'll erase Jackson. The return throw! Not in time. Very close. They nearly turned a double play on the speedy Quentin Berry.
That would have been a beautiful double play. Kochman got it, got rid of it to Cabrera in a hurry. And Berry gets down the line well. He gets the return throw, but he just does beat it out. A nice backhanded throw, good feed. The relay comes back, and you can see that right, gets that foot down right before Kochman can catch it. So he was safe. And as I said, Berry will run. He's stolen 14 and he has not been caught on the year. Ubaldo has given up 17 stolen bases and they have caught 4.
Miguel Cabrera steps in and fouls the first pitch back out of play. Cabrera has always swung the bat well against the Indians, and on the year he's swinging it well against everybody. A .330 average.
And this guy was just born to hit. I think he is probably one of the best right-handed hitters in the game right now, at least in this league. I put him and Paul Konerko in that category.
He trails only Trout and Maurer in the American League in batting average. Hit out of play to the right, 0-2. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. 3rd in batting average, tied for 7th in homers and 2nd in runs batted in. Adam Dunn leads the American League in home runs with 29. The 0-2, a little bit outside. Cabrera's 79 runs batted in, 1 fewer than Josh Hamilton's league-leading 80 in that category. Runner goes, a 1-2 pitch fouled back.
Now 1-2 count, they figure he is going to see a breaking ball, and I think that's why they started the runner, which is a pretty good situation. You certainly don't want to get a runner thrown out when you have Cabrera at the plate or fielder, but you can certainly run on the counts. when you feel that you're going to get an off-speed pitch. And he's going to get another one.
Runner goes, got a great jump. It's outside. Santana, no chance.
That's when you steal.
15th stolen base for Barry. He got basically a running start. I don't think Jimenez even realized he was on the move.
Well, and that's the perfect pitch to run on. The slider down and away. Santana can't transfer it into the hand, so he steals it easily. I don't think even if he makes a throw, he would have had a chance at him because he did have a terrific jump.
First base now open, a 2-2 count on Cabrera with Prince Fielder waiting on deck. Two-two pitch. Bounced in front of the plate. Santana quickly jumps on it. And Barry holds at second.
Ball down. Nice job by Santana to let that hit the chest protector, and it bounces out in front of him. Keeps Barry at second base.
Now full count. And the payoff pitch is drilled out of play. Came with a fastball.
That's why Cabrera is such a good hitter. You know, he hits the ball away. He hits it to right field. He can turn on it. You have to pitch him differently every at-bat. You can't stay with one pattern. He constantly makes adjustments. He's a big guy that has power the other way, can take you out of the ballpark the other way. And if you hang him a breaking ball, he'll turn on it. You really have to, you know, throw him differently every time up. And what you'd like to do, you want to make him aware of pitches inside so he just can't lean out over the plate. If you don't make him aware of an inside pitch, he can wear you out to right and right center.
Again, first base is open. With Fielder waiting on deck. 3-2 pitch. In the air, right field, shallow though. Long run for Shin-Soo Choo. He gets there to make the grab. And Barry holds two down. Here's our stat of the game, brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Ubaldo, you know, you look at the ERA and just the batting average, a much better pitcher at home, but the record doesn't indicate he should be much better record-wise, too.
Well, you know, he has. It seems like there's no gray area with Ubaldo. It's either he's really good or he's bad. You know, in between is tough. He had a great start. He matched up against David Price in his last start. And you remember it was a 1-0 ball game until he got into that sixth inning. Mm-hmm. And then it fell apart with the bottom of the lineup with 2 outs and nobody on.
2 outs and a runner at second base for Prince Fielder. When Fielder and Cabrera last visited Cleveland, they went a combined 4 for 23 in that series. Toward left field, Johnny Damon coming in, makes the chest-high catch to end the inning. So Jimenez works the scoreless first. Tribe coming to bat when we come back. The first, the Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo as Dribble Cabrera and Jason Kipnis. Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and Travis Hafner. Johnny Damon, Casey Kochman, and Jack Hanahan.
Doug Fister making the start. Fister on the year, 4-6, a 4.04 earned run average, and he was on the disabled list from June 16th, or until June 16th. He had a left side strain, but he's back. He seems to be throwing the ball very well. He's won his last 3 decisions, averaged 7 innings in those starts.
Shin-Soo Choo brings the best batting average, the 3rd best batting average against right-handed pitching into the game tonight. Takes a look at a strike. Choo batting .346 against right-handers, .296 on the year overall. Dozen dingers, 39 driven in. His 30 doubles, second only to Alex Gordon of the Royals, who has 31. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Missed wide of the mark, 3 balls and a strike. Takes a strike at a full count. Choo asks for time, steps away. And now Fister's payoff pitch is popped high in the air, foul, out of play. Again, the 3-2. And he just spoiled a good pitch there.
Yeah, that's what you do. So he fouled it off to stay alive. Live for one more pitch. He was turning around. He asked Marvin Hudson, was that a strike? Wanted to make sure.
And the 3-2. One more time. This time he misses, and it's ball 4. The Indians get their leadoff man aboard to start the game.
Take a look at the Home Depot Tigers defense this evening behind Doug Fister. It's Berry in left, Jackson in center, Bosch is in right, Cabrera at third, Peralta at short, Infante at second. Fielder is at first, Avila behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
And we'll bring up as Dribble Cabrera. And that's high, slicing foul, out of play. Cabrera went just 3 for 16 against Baltimore in the 4-game series. Last 18 games, 13 for 72. So he's been in the midst of a slump. He was trying to bunt his way aboard, and had he been able to push that ball towards third, I think he would have had it. With Cabrera playing back.
The element of surprise. Well, he wanted to just slap it down there and take off, but you can see where Cabrera was. He was back there about even with the bag.
Now an 0-2 count. And a line drive base hit into right field. Choo will stop at second, and the Indians have their first 2 on with nobody out.
0-2, it looked like a changeup he left up. The 3-2 pitch to Choo was a changeup he missed high with. I'll bet this is the same thing up in the strike zone. He goes with a changeup. He hasn't been able to get that pitch down. He kept his hands back enough. He looked like he was fooled on the play.
Yep.
but he kept his hands back enough to end up getting a little extension on him and getting the base hit to right field. So good job hitting when you're down in the count 0-2.
Here comes Jason Kipnis to the plate. Miguel Cabrera is looking into the Indians' dugout, and he's chirping, and guys are yelling back at him.
Well, he's talking. You know who he's talking to? He's talking to Manny Acta. They're talking about bunting and things like that. He's always chirping.
Look at him. He's staring right into the Indians' dugout. The game's out there. 2 on, nobody out. Kipnis did a terrific job last night laying down a perfect bunt. That loaded the bases for the Indians. Now, like Cabrera, he's down on the count 0-2. Kipnis with a smash to first. What a pick by Fielder. They'll get the out at second, and that's all they get. But Fielder did a terrific job, not known for his defensive work, but he stole extra bases from Kipnis with a fine piece of leather work.
Yes, it was. I mean, that was a do-or-die play. That could have very easily went off a piece of the glove or the arm. He's in the sunshine. That ball's coming out of the shade. You see him keep his glove down and come up with it. Gets a good feed over there. Peralta takes it, realizes he's not going to get a double play. But a nice play by Prince Fielder. They get the force out at second, so now it's first and third.
Man, with 1 out, the batter is Michael Brantley. Brantley, a .311 hitter with a runner in scoring position on the year. Cuts and misses at the fastball. An early scoring opportunity here against the Tigers for the Tribe in inning number 1. Kipnis is picked off at first base.
He thought he had him timed, and he ran himself out of it there. Mistake by Kipnis. You have to make sure he goes to the dish, and he knows it, but got a little too anxious. He held it, and that's why pitchers, base stealers, get anxious. And Kipnis took off, and that's a mistake on his part. Now they get the second out, and they have a chance to get out of the inning.
Now Fister with the 0-1 pitch. Brantley fouls it back. In that situation, you're almost better off to just keep going. Maybe you get caught in a rundown. Maybe something happens with your runner at third.
Well, sometimes we've seen it where guys take off and the pitchers never even see it, and they stop and they go back and they have time. And he felt he was going to have time to get back, and he didn't. He does a nice job. He hasn't allowed a stolen base this year, so he was trying to time him. But the mistake on his part, you got to make sure at least he goes to home plate. Especially when you got a guy with a chance on third base to drive in a run here.
The 0-2. Brantley strikes out. Fister gets out of first inning trouble as the Indians squander a scoring chance in the opening frame. Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Second inning, no score as Delman Young leads off for Detroit. And Ubaldo Jimenez misses down low, ball one. Throws it by him, 1-1 to count. Young, a .266 hitter. He's homered 10 times. He's driven in 41 with 15 doubles.
Well, we saw them earlier in the year. He was really struggling. You know, they were down on him because he was DH and they weren't playing left field. And he wasn't off to a very good start. But he has good numbers against Jimenez.
Two-1 at the knees, outside corner to even the count. Out of play to the right. Detroit has really made hay in the Central Division this year. They've beaten up on the White Sox, winning 7 out of 11. And they've taken 7 out of 8 from Kansas City. They've gone 5-4 against the Twins, but the Indians have beaten them 5 out of 6.
Well, that's where they made their hay last year, was in the division. 50 wins. I mean,
and remember, the Indians had their number early last year. And then Detroit flipped it on them in the second half.
They won the last 10 games they played against them.
The Indians have these 3 against Detroit. And then they will finish their upcoming road trip with a 3-gamer in the Motor City. 2-2. Ooh. Awfully close, but just missed, and a full count.
You're going to see a pitch away.
Oof. I think that looked like a strike to me. 3-2 is hit to right and a base hit.
Second time they have had their leadoff man aboard. Singles to lead off the inning.
The injury report tonight brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Drew Smiley, part of their rotation, but with the addition of Anibal Sanchez, not sure how that rotation is going to shake out.
Dirks is getting ready to come off that DL.
Brennan Bosch, who's been swinging a much better bat of late, pops the first pitch up the left. And Damon has that for out number 1. That will bring up former Indian shortstop Johnny Peralta. And as typical with Johnny Peralta, slow starter, but he's starting to heat up. Batting average up to .271. Last 20 games hitting at a .325 clip.
Well, when he starts hitting, that right center field gap is his alley. That's when you know he's swinging the bat well. We've watched him play a long time and watched him come up. And when Johnny started swinging it well, getting a lot of hits, he stays on the ball. He doesn't try to pull it.
Good breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Pulled the string nicely.
Nice pitch.
2-2.
You get into a fastball count, and there you'll see that little changeup, and you have him out in front.
Now the 2-2. Johnny swings and misses. And Jimenez has his first strikeout. 2 down here in the second.
This, I think, was the splitter. Watch this one going down, and he's going to swing over, down and in. That ball just takes off, and it keeps bearing down. And less speed, but excellent location. Gets Peralta to swing over the top of it and gets the strikeout.
Hitting coach Lloyd McClendon. Here is Alex Avila. Hitting just .237 for the year. And taking a strike. That ball got away from Jimenez, up and in. 1-1 to count.
Well, he started them off with a good splitter, and that's little chin music where he backs out.
Avila swung over the top.
That opens up, and that follow-up pitch, you see, you make them aware that you're not afraid to go inside. You go up and in, and there's that good splitter coming back down and away, and you can see the kind of swing you get.
2 down and a runner at first. The 1-2 pitch. A little bit outside. Delman Young, who singled to lead off the inning at first base, held by Kochman. Two. Tried to go backdoor with the slider. And it looks like Marvin Hudson's got pretty tight strike zone.
Well, you shoot for that outside edge, and you could see it just stayed away. It didn't come in on the plate. It just seemed to go straight down.
Young will be off on the 3-2 pitch. And it's low, ball 4. So 2 on, 2 out, and Omar Infante will be coming to the plate. We'll get a look at our AT&T trivia question. He's the only pitcher, or the only player, since 1920 to lead the American League in RBI in 3 straight seasons. The pitch, and Infante takes a strike. Infante came back to the Tigers yesterday from the Miami Marlins, where he hit .287 this year.
He got off to a really good start this year. He was one of the few Marlins that were hitting early, and he was hitting for power for this guy. Down in that new ballpark in Miami. He has 8 home runs, and you would not expect this guy to to be that kind of home run guy. So Santana wants to talk to Ubaldo about something.
Infante was originally signed by Detroit back in 1999, and he'd been a very reliable player who can move around a little bit, play good defense. But as you said, his bat this year has made him very attractive.
Well, they needed a second baseman, Detroit did. That was a spot there. Rayburn was playing defensively. It was killing them on the infield because you got Cabrera at third, Peralta at short. Not a lot of range on the left side. So Dave Dombrowski knows Infante because he was over there, with him, and they wanted to plug that hole.
2 on, 2 out, 0-1 count. Broke his bat, bounced to third, Hanahan steps on the bag to end the inning. Middle of the second, no score.
Dollar Dog Night. Buy early and save on seats as the Tribe finishes this series with the Tigers. Enjoy hot dogs for only $1. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
All right, we go now to the home half of the second. No score. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Johnny Damon. Santana hit in each of the last 3 games in the series against the Orioles, going 5 for 11. Bounced wide of first for a foul ball here. 0-2. Pfister the line, the 2-strike pitch. Missed inside with it.
Well, he gave up the 0-2 base hit to Cabrera. He had Kipnis 0-2. He doesn't want to make a mistake anymore.
Santana waited back. He'll plug the gap in right center field. That'll go to the wall. Santana on his way to second, and he'll hold there with a leadoff double. He is starting to swing a much better bat here, and that is a welcome sight for the Indians.
Well, it was another changeup. And so far, the Indians have hit Pfister's changeup. He has left a couple upstairs. And that ball, that's up too much for a changeup, especially when you're ahead in the count. And Santana did a nice job to stay back on it, finds the gap, gets himself a double. Number 17, so the leadoff double. Let's see if they can do their thing, get him over and get him in.
Well, Travis Hafner steps in here. Hafner came back from the deal on the 4th of July, and in 14 games, he has just 8 hits. Missed outside for ball 1. Missed outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. High drive, deep center. Back goes Jackson. He'll circle under it and make the catch, but Santana is able to tag and go to third. So Hafner gets him over. And now the task will fall to Johnny Damon to get him in. With more on how the Indians will try to attack Doug Fister, here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, Rick, you guys mentioned the success Doug Fister has had over the Indians in recent. I spoke with Indians hitting coach Bruce Fields earlier today, and he told me it's because the Indians have not been able to lay off Doug Fister's cutter. That will be big today. Also, especially with the type of command he's shown, they want to try to force him to throw his breaking balls over the plate, but most importantly, do not chase.
Well, here's Johnny Damon with the infield drawn in. Santana at third and 1 out, and Damon lines a single into left center field to give the Indians a 1-0 lead. Johnny Damon, RBI number 18, jumped on the first pitch he saw, and he played Santana.
Yeah, he wasn't going to spot him that fastball, was he? And it looked away, and he just stayed on it. They got him on, got him over, got him in. This will be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. See, tried to throw that little 2-seamer, sinking fastball down and away. Johnny stayed on it. Gets the base hit, so Tribe will play from in front. It's 1-0.
One on, 1 out for Casey Kochman. And Kochman takes a strike. Close, but just missed. 1-1. Fielder looking right out into that sun. Kochman bangs one towards second. They get the force there. Peralta's return throw in time, and an inning-ending double play. But the Indians strike first as Carlos Santana comes home on a Damon RBI single. 1-0 Indians. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Top of the order for Detroit here in the third. Austin Jackson, Quentin Berry, and Miguel Cabrera. Tigers have had their leadoff man in each of the first 2 innings, but Jimenez has been able to cut him off at the pass. Ball one down low to Jackson. Caught the corner, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Jackson swinging a very hot bat of late. 332 average in his last 56 games.
Well, he was having a very good year for him. And, you know, they got off to that slow start. He was one guy that was really playing well. And then injured himself.
Fastball hit to right. Jackson's 2 for 2. Both hits going to right field. And 3 innings, 3 leadoff hits for the Tigers.
Yes, indeed, that's something. Jackson has that inside-out swing. The knock on him has been he's always swing and miss guy. But that fastball at 95 gets too much plate, and it's upstairs, and it's easy for him to take it the other way. Jimenez has made 11 starts this year after an Indians win. His record is 4-7. So he hasn't been able to continue that streak and keep it going. He's making his 12th tonight, and he has a 1-0 lead. So this is a response, a shutdown inning for him.
Close play. McClellan calls him safe. Cabrera can't believe it. He thought they had him. Santana made a good, strong throw, and Cabrera slapped the tag down.
It was a very good throw. Jackson had a good jump, but watch the throw. Santana comes out and fires a seed. I mean, right on the money. That was close. That foot might have just got into the bag by the time Cabrera makes the tag. He's up in front of the bag, which you like.
The throw beat him, but McClellan called it safe because he didn't get the tag on him. Sometimes you might get that call just because the ball's there ahead of the tag. Not the case in that scenario. Jackson with his 10th steal.
Okay, so now Baltimore with their man on second base and nobody out. Or Baltimore, Detroit. Played so many games with them in the last few days. Well, there's a look from behind our center field camera. You can't tell where he tags him. And it looks like it was in between his legs. You know, that front foot might have gotten to the bag, and he tagged him on the back knee. Hard to tell.
Barry, a swing and a miss. Santana will look Jackson back to second. And he records the out at first, so Barry unable to get Jackson to third. Second strikeout for Jimenez.
Looked like another splitter. Down into the dirt. That's a good 2-strike pitch. You get him to chase that pitch. Santana will look him back and make the throw to first. So they get the first out.
Meantime, here's Miguel Cabrera, flied to right his first time up.
You know, he didn't have that first inning. He had no swings and misses. He had 4 in the second inning, but he looks like he's got a pretty good splitter tonight. And that's a field pitch for him. I've seen him spike it a lot early in the game, but he's out of the chute with a pretty good one.
Good slider right there, and it's in for a strike to even the count.
Good breaking ball. Right there on the outside edge, straight down. Good pitch.
That looked like more just like the traditional curveball. Hit to short. Cabrera will take the sure out at first, 2 down.
Looked like he might have had a play, but he says forget about it. I'll just take it, because Jackson very aggressive.
I think with less than 2 out, Cabrera goes to third probably.
Well, I would think so.
I'm sorry, less than 2 out. if there were no outs, I think he goes right to third. But with one out, you take your out, you got a chance to get out of the inning.
Well, the reason why Jimenez has had success against Detroit this year in his first 2 starts, runners in scoring position, there were just 2 for 13. And he gets out of this one as well.
Prince Fielder grounds it to Kipnis to end the inning. So the Tigers have had their leadoff man aboard in all 3 innings tonight, but they have not been able to do anything with it. Bottom of the third, it's a 1-0 Indians lead. Jack Hanahan, Shin-Soo Choo, and Asdrubal Cabrera due up for the try. Hanahan with a liner to second, snared by Infante, one away.
Well, he got after it, man. You can't do anything better than that. Hit it right on the line. Flag down by Infante.
Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike. He reached on a walk to start the game for the Tribe, but was stranded at third in the first. Pfister misses inside, and the count evens at 1-1. Called a strike, but it looked low, and Choo is quick to tell Marvin Hudson, hey, bring that up a little bit.
Well, that's true. That ball was not a strike. You get that one, he gave him that one. That's not even close.
Two and two the count.
That's the good pitch.
Choo out looking, 2 down in the third. Second strikeout for Doug Pfister.
You know, that's the pitch that he had working all last year against the Indians, that comeback fastball. He gets you away, he throw that little breaking ball away, and then he gets the left-handers with that fastball coming back onto the plate at 89 miles an hour. If he has that working, that's a tough pitch. But he has had trouble with left-handers this year. 293 average with 6 home runs, and it's stacked with lefties.
As Asdrubal Cabrera, first ball swinging, bangs it foul.
Send out some birthday wishes tonight. Richard Heston of Lexington is turning 92. Not only is he turning 92, he's celebrating his 71st anniversary with his lovely wife, Annabelle. So happy anniversary and also a happy birthday.
That's a doubleheader.
Yes, it is. Playing 2 tonight.
The 0-1 to Cabrera to center. Jackson has it measured, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 3 complete. Cleveland 1, Detroit nothing. Dalvin Young, first ball swinging, fouls it back out of play.
Yeah, he does a lot of that. It's around that strike zone. He likes to get after it early.
He led off the second inning with a single to right field. Tigers' leadoff man has singled to right field all 3 times tonight.
That's after he had an extra strike in that at bat.
That is true. Pulls this one on the ground to third. Hanahan will have to hurry. Got him. Terrific throw by Jack Hanahan on the move with not a moment to spare. And he retires Young 1 away.
Well, not only does Hanahan do a nice job, he's got to keep his glove down to make sure he catches the ball. But watch the job that Kochman does cheating over there, getting that ball and coming off. That's a good job of doing. That's like a timing play where he knows exactly when that ball is going to get into his glove and that foot comes off to help the umpire.
Brennan Bosch squaring to bunt, pulls it back. It's also an experience thing, too, doing that a lot over and over and over.
Well, you know, when you see that good throw coming over there, he knows where it's going to go. He can come out and snatch the ball, and that foot comes off with maybe a hair before it goes into the glove.
Bosch ropes it foul. Look out down on the seats just past the Tigers' dugout. Oh, boy. Oh, a young lady took that. The brunt of that line drive.
You have no way to get out of the way. That ball was down and in. He's a good low ball hitter.
Well, you saw Tommy Brookins, the first base coach. He ducked. I mean, that ball was seriously scorched, and it was hooking over his head, and then it just darted right into there. He doesn't even want to turn around and look because he knows it wasn't good.
Well, you have no chance to get out of the way. You know, I'm surprised that this doesn't happen more often. As many times as we see balls go ricocheting, I mean quickly into the seats.
The 1-1. Missed inside, 2 balls and a strike. Bosch drills one to deep right. Chu turns around, makes the catch. And that's out number 2. Let's go back downstairs, and here's Katie with them.
Matt, there's more fireworks coming at you on Friday, August 10th. The Boston Red Sox will be in town. If you don't have your tickets, get them now and save a few bucks. The fireworks will be set to music from A Summer of Love. You can get them online now at Indians.com.
All right, thanks, Katie. Here's Johnny Peralta, struck out his first time up, leans back, it's ball 1. Two and 0 the count. And that's up high. 3 balls, no strikes. So Jimenez hasn't walked anybody yet, or he did walk Alex Avila, I beg your pardon, in the second inning.
Yeah, but this is his first 2-0 count. He had Avila down in the count 1-2. This is his first 2-0 count of the night.
And it's ball 4. So 4 straight. He walks Peralta with 2 down. And now Alex Avila, who drew the walk after he was down in the count his first time up. Now Avila looks at a strike.
Avila, you remember we were in Detroit, and then he ended up getting hurt in that one game and had to leave and ended up going on the DL.
Flies this one to center. Brantley runs it down, and the inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Indians 1 and the Tigers nothing. It's a 1-0 Indians lead as we go now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jason Kipnis robbed of a hit his first time up, but then he was picked off at first base for the second out in that inning.
Well, picked off, just tried to take off a little too quickly. Pfister held the ball on him.
Line to left field. That's going to be down, and it'll go to the wall, into the corner. Kipnis on his way to second base, and he's in safely with a leadoff double. Second leadoff double of the night for the Indians.
On an 0-2 pitch. So Fister's been able to get ahead of the Indians, but he's given up a couple of knocks when he's been down 0-2. Kipnis, a nice job of staying on it, going the other way. It looked like a little slider here. Exactly what it was. He got too much of the play. That was a lot of the play for an 0-2 pitch. He did it the last time where he backed somebody off and then tried to go away. That pitch stayed middle of the plate. Kipnis stayed on it.
Michael Brantley struck out his first time up. And Fister shoots for that outside corner and gets a strike. Brantley doesn't like it. Shoots it to third. Cabrera with a diving stop, and then from his knees, fielder can't handle the throw. Kipnis held at second on the play, but Brantley is aboard with Kipnis at second and nobody out now here in the fourth inning.
Well, he made a great stop. I think he rushed it a little bit. He had a little more time than he thought, and then he makes a short throw, and fielder doesn't pick it to help him out. Tough pick play anyway, but that's going to go as an error on Cabrera. It's what? Base hit. It's an error, isn't it?
Well, they've scored at a base hit for now.
I mean, he made a nice stop. Believe me, that was a beautiful stop. But he had time to get up and throw it, or at least from his knees. He had enough time, and he made a bad throw. That's an error.
I think what made it tough on Fielder is it just barely was over the cut of the grass.
Yeah, it was a tough pick for Fielder. I mean, not his fault. I mean, Cabrera did everything in his power, but he just made a bad throw. But the Indians will take it. He's on first base, first and second.
Now they've got to take advantage. Carlos Santana doubled his first time up, looks at a ball up high. It's 2-0. And now Alex Avila going to go out and talk with Fister, who's made 43 pitches, 31 of those for strikes, and now Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, will join the conversation. Well, the Tigers' defense has been an issue at times this year. Yes,
especially on the infield it has. I mean, Cabrera's done a nice job over there, but he doesn't have the range of an above-average first baseman. Peralta at short catches anything he gets to, but he doesn't have the range. They've been missing at second, and Fielder at first is a little shaky. They have made 58 errors this year. That's 10 more than the Indians.
But again, that sometimes can be misleading with your defense because as you talked about, the range factor. They don't get to a lot of balls that other teams would even get to.
That is true. So pitching-wise, he just wants to make sure his pitcher continues to go out there and stay aggressive, try and make a pitch.
The 2-0, and Santana fouls it out of play. If you're Doug Fister or any other Tiger starter, if a Cabrera or a Fielder makes an error, you take comfort in the fact that knowing there's a good chance they're going to hit that error back and then some.
Well, that was like the Indians back in the 95 or 96. I mean, they'd make an error, give up, and they'd come in and hit a 3-run homer, and they'd make up for it. I mean, it's not that it's okay. The bottom line is winning and scoring, and you're going to have to do that. When you have a team that, you don't score a lot of runs, you cannot give up any runs.
Exactly right. 2-1. Santana had a good cut, but he fouled it back.
Arthur Allen of Cambridge is 88 today. Velma Lowmiller of Fresno, California is 74. We've got Norris Williams down in Florida, turning 78, who was a former fantasy camper. Happy birthday to you all.
2 on, nobody out, and a 2-2 count with the Tribe on top, 1-0. Santana drills it foul.
Boy, there's one he left up. He's lucky to get away with that. He's gotten to 2 strikes. He's left a lot of his changeups up in the zone.
With Kipnis at second and Brantley at first. The 2-2 to Santana is in the dirt. Good stop by Avila. Full count. And the 3-2 pitch hit on the ground into right field, a base hit. Kipnis around third. He's coming home. The throw cut off, and now Brantley hung up in a rundown. Kipnis scoring, and now Brantley speeding to third. He's tagged out. Now is he all right? Man, he slid hard and ran right into the hefty Prince Fielder at third base.
That's a great play by Fielder to come over there. Cabrera gave that ball up way too early. He could have ran him straight to second and tagged one of them. He didn't even have to get rid of it. But a very heads-up play there by Fielder to get Brantley going into third base. So you get the base hit, the RBI.
And Santana did get to second base.
Well, he was on his way here as they come and they cut it off and they go to third, which is a good play. Watch, he could just run him back because Santana's in your picture there. And look at the hustle from the first baseman who made the cut and got it over to third base. He followed his throw.
Ooh, that was a hand.
Yes, it was. And you're not moving that body. Not with a hand, an arm, or anything.
Well, hopefully
Keep an eye
Brantley's
on that
all right.
left hand. Keep an eye on that left hand.
So with one out and Santana at second, Travis Hafner fouls one out of play.
Well, the second guy they've had out on the bases tonight. But that's all done by design. That's from Brennan Bosch, who throws the ball into home plate. You make sure the cutoff man can get it, because if they continue to run, you can cut it and get a guy on base, and they did that with Michael Brantley.
Down and in.
Well, the Indians have 3 hits when they've been down in the count 0-2. Out of their half their hits have come when they've been down in the count. So
Hafner strikes out, 2 down. Our minor league report brought to you by University Hospitals. Thomas Neal in an 11-1 rout over Erie went 3 for 5 with a grand slam. Travis Hafner slumping now to 8 for 61 with a runner in scoring position on the year. Johnny Damon drove in the Indians' first run back in the second with an RBI single to left field, scoring Carlos Santana. See if he can score him again with a 2-out base hit.
Johnny came up and jumped on that first 2-seam fastball down and away to drive in Santana back in the second.
There's the good curveball, and when Pfister's been effective against the Indians, that's been a pitch that when he gets ahead, he puts guys away with. but he's had a tough time.
He's had no issue
putting
getting ahead
them away.
of him. That's right.
Up and in with a fastball. 2-2. Indians on top, 2-0. Santana at second with 2 down. And the 2-2 to Damon. Out of play. Damon with a hit in 15 of his last 24 games now. 2-2 bounce towards short. Peralta gets rid of it in a hurry to get him. And the inning is over. Indians use 3 hits to plate another run. 2-0 Tribe as we go to the 5th. Panini's with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com. And by First Merit Bank. Fifth inning, 2-0 Tribe. Omar Infante, Austin Jackson, and Quentin Berry due up. Michael Brantley keeping a close eye on his left hand. That left hand met Prince Fielder head on. And it looks like he's still in a little bit of pain, trying to shake it loose. Infante takes a strike. And a base hit into right field.
That's 4 out of the 5 innings now that they've had leadoff singles. Guess Ubaldo likes pitching from the stretch. He'd rather pitch from the stretch. Why don't he start that first hitter out from the stretch? There's a breaking ball he left up and out over the plate. Infante slapped it the other way. That's 4 hits now for the Tigers.
Well, they're 0 for 10 out of the stretch.
Yeah, they haven't been able to follow up on any of those singles.
Jackson goes after the first pitch and pops it foul out of play. Got a piece of that, and it also got a piece of Santana. And the count is 0-2. Hey, debuting tonight on STO is Cover Lines, telling the stories of Ohio sports that you want to hear. Host Jim Donovan will take you to Columbus, where Urban Meyer has found the balance between family and coaching. Plus, learn more about Olympic powerlifter Holly Mangold. And finally, find out how some Chardon alumni raised money for the shooting victims at the high school. Cover lines tonight at 11:30 right here on STO.
Yeah, they went
down in the dirt. Missed again, 2-2. Jackson a big swing and a miss, and he strikes out. That's 3 Ks for Jimenez. One down here in the 5th.
again. Here comes that split that's coming in, and you're going to see a hitter swinging over the top of it. Good arm speed, and you can see it just. He's got a good feel for that pitch tonight, and that's exactly what that pitch is a feel pitch.
Quentin Berry takes a strike inside corner, and that looked like a pitch where Jimenez started it out off the plate and let it leak back over the inside corner. Berry on the ground by Kochman. And Infante hits second. He'll stop there as Chu got to it and unloads in a hurry.
Well, even though Infante's been in the National League, I'm sure he still knows that that guy in right field can throw. So he wasn't going to challenge him. So they double up now, and the first time they've had 2 hits in an inning. And Berry goes down and hits that pitch. He got that inside, too much of the plate.
It's not where they wanted it.
Was sitting away, and slaps it by Kochman, who had to hold the runner on.
Well, now the table's set for Miguel Cabrera, who is 0 for 2 today. Cabrera has flied to right, grounded to short. And a ground ball up the middle. Cabrera flips to Kipnis. Hits the bag onto first. Kochman. Oh, what a catch and a tag! Double play ends the inning. An acrobatic leaping grab by Casey Kochman, and able to apply the tag to end the inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 Indians. Casey Kochman, who made the spectacular catch to end the double play, will lead off. He bounced into a double play, his first and only time up. Outside 1-1. Checked. Did he go? He did, says Teddy Barrett down at third.
Well, he made one heck of a play to end that last inning over at first base. He not only saved an error, he completed the double play. And you end up running off the field. That saves a run.
And now a base hit for Casey Kochman. So first he makes the big defensive play. Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, this. It looked like Kipnis cut under the ball, and he got away. And that ball should have been over into the dugout. He comes off, makes the saving catch here, saves an error, but got enough of it and tags Cabrera. And you're walking off the field. Now you don't have to face fielder with a man on third base. Huge play. And then comes up and leads this inning off.
Now Jack Hanahan, who hit it right on the nose his first time up, but he lined it right at Omar Infante, the second baseman. The pitch. Right back over the screen. And that's fouled back as Hanahan was trying to move him along.
I agree with that. Not a bad time to move him along with a 2-0 lead. You can get him over there. Good pitch to bunt, a breaking ball. It's so easy to get down on the ground, but he fouled it off. Look at Jack's upset with himself and should be.
Jack Hanahan awaits the 1-2, and that's out of play. Kochman a short lead at first, held there by Prince Fielder. And right two fielder off the bat of Hanahan, who goes down to second for one and an easy double play. So 2 down now. Shin-Soo Choo coming to the plate.
Yeah, once he fields that ball, an easy 3-6-3 double play. Second one they've hit into tonight.
Choo walked in the first, called out on strikes in the third. Big curveball in for a strike. Pitch number 70 for Doug Fister coming up right here. And another curveball hit off the plate. Infante charging hard. Nice quick hands. And the side is retired. 5 complete. It's the Indians 2 and the Tigers nothing.
The Subway Extreme Fan Zone with today's lucky $25 Indians Fun Mini winner, Thomas. Thomas, how's the view from up here? What do you think?
Great game. Here, look at us. The Indians going to win tonight. They're going to win every game in this series, and we'll be in first place, and we're going to shake it with feather, whatever.
I love it. I love it. We're having a good time. You can do. All you have to do is buy tickets to sit up here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone Subway, where winners eat. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Katie, he's excited.
He is. He's fired up, man. They got a 2-0 win, and he's predicting a sweep.
Don't be going to the concessions line and think you're going to get in front of him.
Well, he's got $25 gift certificate. He'll be eating Subway all 3 games.
Prince Fielder 0 for 2 tonight. He's lined to left, grounded to second. Up high with the pitch, 1-1. Missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Swung on and missed. Went up the ladder on him. The 2-2 from Jimenez. Right back to the screen by Fielder. $50 out of 77 pitches for strikes from Jimenez tonight. Now Michael Brantley on the move, has to short hop it. That ball was hit very hard, and it looked like Michael was just kind of caught in between. If he goes for it and misses, Fielder's still running.
Yeah, you have to knock it down. That ball was hit hard, and I'm not going to tell you. That's another leadoff single. 5 out of 6.
That's all right. It's been a good formula for
it has.
Jimenez tonight. Only player since 1920 to lead the league in ribbies 3 straight years.
Big Daddy Cecil Fielder.
Delman Young looks at a ball down low, 1 for 2 on the night. Now, Prince Fielder has been some kind of durable. 200 and this will be 78 consecutive.
Oh, he's a
games.
gamer. He plays every day. You know, people talk and they say, "Oh yeah, this guy, you know, whatever. He doesn't look good. He's out of shape." He plays every game.
Hey,
he stays healthy.
It's no secret. His weight's been an issue since he was drafted. There were teams that shied away from him when he came out of school because of his weight. They thought, well, he's going to balloon. He's going to get bigger. He won't be able to play. And all he's gone out and done is prove everybody wrong. Young, a swing and a miss. And Young strikes out. That's 4 now for Jimenez. And that's the third time tonight, Rick, following one of those leadoff singles that Jimenez has struck out the next guy. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers.
He's had very good command of his off-speed pitches tonight. His breaking ball, his splitter. He's really done a nice job of mixing it up. They haven't been able to sit on that heater they're going to get. He's had 11 swings and misses tonight.
He's thrown 14 pitches or less in every inning but one tonight.
Well, that's a good deal. I mean, you want to see him get in there and go 7 innings. Last inning was the only time they were able to double up and get another hit in an inning. But they took advantage of it with the double play ball off the bat of the big boy, Cabrera, Miguel Cabrera.
The 2-1. Bosch went after it.
That's that splitter, boy. What a good one.
It's a vexing pitch because at times, as you said, we've seen him spike it or bounce it, or he just hasn't had good command of it. Tonight it's been dazzling.
Well, when you're the hitter, you don't pick up that spin, and then all of a sudden the bottom disappears. It drops out, and you're like, you've already started. You've already committed your swing. You can't hold up.
They credit Roger Craig as being sort of the father of the splitter. Did many guys throw it when you were playing?
He was a pitching coach over in Detroit back in the 80s when it all came about and those guys were throwing it. He was out in San Diego. He has been around, and he probably was one of the guys that brought it back. Not good for the elbow, though.
No, as we later learned. Runner goes. Pitch grounded foul.
You know, this is the thing. That's why I said before the game, I would think you have to score 5 runs to beat these Tigers because they've been swinging the bats very well. 18 out of their last 19 games, they have scored 4 or more runs compared to the Indians that have only done it 7 out of the 19 times and 3 runs or less in their last 5 games.
Yeah. Well, to this point, Jimenez has made it
been the difference.
Up.
That's right. He's been the difference. But
this should get him out of the inning. Damon's there. Oh, he was looking at Hanahan, and it drops. Oh, my. Failure to communicate here.
Well, that's the outfielder's ball. I mean, Hanahan was going out until he sees Johnny coming in, and I don't know if Johnny called for it. But, I mean, it was up there for a while. Hanahan could have went out and caught it, but Damon had it. Watch him give up on it. He sees Hanahan coming out. Jack looks at Johnny. Johnny looks at Jack. That's the outfielder's ball. Anytime you have an opportunity to put it away, they both started looking at each other, and you can't do that. The outfielder has to take charge in that situation. Much tougher play for Hanahan. That goes as a base hit. Well, let's hope it doesn't come back and hurt him because it should be 2 outs and a man on first base. That's frustration right there. He knows they both could have had it. That's just a little pep talk right there. Don't let it get you down. You made a good pitch. You should be 1 pitch away from getting out of it. He's still 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Maybe he can get the double play ball here off the bat of Peralta. Boy, you don't want to let your pitcher down when he's pitching like he is now. You need every play defensively.
Joe Smith getting up in the Indians bullpen. 2 on, 1 out. Johnny Peralta 0 for 1 with a walk. Bounced in front. Santana blocks it nicely. Missed up high, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Jimenez deals, and Peralta taking all the way, a fastball right down the middle for a strike. Alex Avila waiting on deck. The 3-1. Broke his bat, popped him up. Kipnis calls for it emphatically, makes the catch. 2 down.
I heard him up here. So they'll get one more out in this inning.
Boy, 3-1 pitch, and he broke his bat.
Well, he comes back, and 3-0. He threw the strike and then ran one in on his fist. So you have to get 4 outs this inning, but there you go. That's how good that fastball was. He ran it in there. And look at that. Bat explodes.
Alex Avila has walked and flied to center tonight. Boy, just missed for ball 1. In the dirt, this one Santana can't keep in front of him. It kicks away from him, and the runners both advance.
All right, wild pitch. Not much Santana could do there, but go back. Yeah, that was the one that got into the dirt, and he tried to scoop it, and he just almost pushes it away, but too tough of a play for him. They will move up. 10th wild pitch for Jimenez this year. But, boy, this is a big out. This could set this series up here. It should be out of the inning. Should be in the dugout right now. They're getting an extra out in the inning.
Instead, a base hit could tie the game.
Right.
And Jimenez fires it in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Fielder at third, Bosch the tying run at second. Jimenez right back with a good fastball. It's 2-2. Well, and when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, you go with number 1. You go with your best pitch.
Oh, it's been a splitter tonight. It's been a good one. He's got first base open. I'd stay with it.
2-2.
He did.
Hung it a little bit, but it was fouled away.
You go with, he's had such a good one tonight, and it's been such a tough pitch to hit. He's got a lot of swings and misses with it, and if you miss with it, all right, now you got bases loaded. But you don't want this guy here, the left-hander, to get after you, who's got a little power. You got Infante on deck. Well, they'll go out and talk about it.
See Santana shaking his head. Whatever Jimenez was suggesting he was not in favor of.
Well, the guy that's throwing it better be in favor of whatever he's going to throw. And he better be on the right page and throw it with conviction, because this is the out you want right here.
Two on, two out. A 2-2 count on Alex Avila. Tribe clinging to a 2-0 lead in the 6th. Hits are even at 7 apiece. The 2-2 offering is in the dirt on a full count. The full count payoff pitch. And Avila just did get a piece of it. Came back with that splitter again.
You know, hitters, when they just get a piece like that to stay alive, it's got to drive a pitcher crazy. But he can't lose perspective here. Go ahead and throw that same pitch. That was a good pitch. He just happened to foul it off.
Prince Fielder called for time over at third base. Had to adjust his shoestring. Just over 100 pitches on the night now for Jimenez. On the 3-2. Chop foul. Been a long inning now for Jimenez after that routine pop dropped in shallow left.
They're making him throw a lot of pitches. This is a 30-pitch inning. And you said he was staying under that count. He had such a good flow going, but now the extra out hurts you, man. He should be sitting down ready to come out for another inning.
Santana and Jimenez on the same page now. The 3-2. Grounded towards first. Kochman has it. He'll go himself. And Jimenez gets out of the jam. The Tigers have left 8 through 6 innings, and the Tribe's on top 2-0. Manny Acta talking with both Johnny Damon and Jack Hanahan before giving high fives to Jimenez.
Well, Jimenez is the guy that got him out of it. So they should high-five him. And it's a communication breakdown. That's the outfielder's ball. They both could have had it, so the outfielder take charge.
As Dribble Cabrera 1 for 2 tonight, leads off the home half of the 6th. And Doug Fister fires a strike in there.
You know, in Fister's last start against the Indians back on the 23rd of May.
And as Dribble Cabrera has his second hit of the night, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard for the 3rd inning in a row and the 5th time in 6 innings tonight.
Yeah, the leadoff men have been on base all the time tonight on both sides. He gets the curveball, stays back and hits it well. Fister went 6 2/3 in that start on May 23rd, gave up only 5 hits and 2 runs. That was a no decision for him. He's going into the 6th now. He's given up 8 hits tonight. They have had a pretty good approach to him, and he's given up a lot of hits with 2 strikes. 3 of them with 0-2 counts.
Back out of play. Fister paying a lot of attention to his Dribble Cabrera, who has 2 stolen bases on the year. A little bit low, 1-1. 75 pitches for Fister, 55 for strikes.
Well, that's one reason why he hasn't allowed a stolen base yet this year. He pays attention to guys he thinks are going to run. And he will change it. He tried to quick pitch him last time after he threw over there, and there it is again. Boy, that was the cutter.
The 1-2 to Kipnis, way up high. Cabrera again takes his lead at first with a 2-2 count on Kipnis. And a foul right back over the screen. Indians 2 runs tonight. Both came as a result of leadoff doubles. And way inside, Kipnis turned on it and shot it into the photo well. Another foul back. Boy, Kipnis is spoiling a lot of baseballs here in this AB.
Good. Make him work. Make him work hard. He's only had 80 pitches.
Down on the dirt. Good block by Avila. And now a full count. Both bullpens are quiet at the moment.
Okay, now is when you'll start Cabrera. Why not? Full count, 2-0 lead. You feel Kipnis will put it in play. Just make sure he goes to the plate.
Almost threw it away.
Yeah, he's really paying.
Did
probably
he step
a little
on Cabrera's finger? Or did he jam
no,
it going back into the bag?
Yeah, I think he jammed it going into the bag. Watch, he jams. See, he's not that far off. I think Pfister surprised him throwing over there. He didn't have a big lead. He jammed his finger going into the base.
Cabrera takes off and then stopped halfway to second. And they still turn to double play.
Third double play the Indians have hit into. They started Cabrera. Why he stopped, I don't know.
Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Johnny Damon with an RBI single in the second, scoring Carlos Santana, who had doubled the leadoff the inning. And then after a leadoff double by Jason Kipnis in the fourth, he came home on the Carlos Santana single that ultimately ended with Michael Brantley being cut down at third base. But he, even though he was dinged up, able to stay in the game. And here he is now batting with 2 down. Nobody on in the sixth, and the Indians still on top 2-0. Brantley bounces it to second. Infante will throw him out. And we'll go to the seventh, 2-0 Cleveland.
Next trip out here to Progressive Field, make sure to take advantage of some of those brand new transportation options the Indians have for you. You can get a round trip ticket on the new RTA rail service for the Indians. It will cap your family price at just $10. We also have $1 shuttles from Ohio City and guaranteed parking right next door in the Gateway Garage. Then while you're out here, make sure to stop by the concession stands. We've got brand new classic combo deals. They are only $8. You can take advantage of them. Get a hot dog, Pepsi, and a popcorn, or a brat and a beer. For more information, you can log on to Indians.com and get your tickets now, guys.
Katie, great job with all that racket on the scoreboard. She really held her concentration.
Yes, she does. She's great at it.
All right, leadoff man coming up for Detroit here in the seventh is Omar Infante, and he'll be facing Joe Smith. Ubaldo Jimenez went 6 7-hit shutout innings here tonight.
He had great off-speed stuff. He had, 5 out of the 6 innings, leadoff singles, pitched around that. Did a tremendous job tonight. Turn it over to his bullpen now. Cunningham goes into left field.
With Aaron Cunningham coming into the ball game, if you haven't heard, the Indians made a trade earlier this afternoon acquiring Brent Lillibridge, a utility man they got him from the Boston Red Sox for a minor league pitcher. Lillibridge added to the roster today when the Tribe transferred Lonnie Chisenhall to the 60-day DL. A 25-man roster move will be made tomorrow to put him on the club. Lillibridge, a guy can play the outfield, play some infield. Bounce to third. Jack Hanahan right there to grab it. Flips it over. One away. The sixth inning for Ubaldo Jimenez took a wild turn on that ball that should have been caught but wasn't. But then he came back and got Johnny Peralta after he fell behind him 3-0. And then he gets the big ground out after a long bat with Alex Avila to get out of the inning.
Yeah, good job. He picked up his defense tonight.
He sure did. Detroit this year, in 3 games that they have faced Ubaldo Jimenez, they've gone 2 for 18 with a runner in scoring position against him, including 0 for 9 tonight. And on the year, the Tigers as a team came into tonight batting .299 with runners in scoring position. So I don't think you can short sheet what he did by any stretch of the imagination. Kipnis throws out Austin Jackson 2 down. And there's our great clip of the game from yesterday. This is what the Indians are, if they're going to get on a run or any kind of a roll, this is what you need. Masterson, who pitched great last night, followed by Jimenez tonight. You need these guys to follow each other up with good starts.
The starters have got to continue to keep it down, shut it down for 6 innings and let the offense. The Indians only have 2 runs tonight, but it's a big 2 runs at this point because the pitching has been outstanding.
And because on the year, they are 38-4 when they lead after 6. Quentin Berry takes a strike. I mean, you've said it a number of times. It's a little league formula. Play for 6 innings. You get the lead after 6. And this bullpen has shown an ability to just shut it down.
They do. They shut it down. You get Pastano, Perez in here, and Smitty's done a great job, too. I mean, Perez has 5 saves in the 5 wins they have against the Tigers. And who do you think set him up all 5 times? It's got to be Pastano. So, I mean, you remember the last time we played them after the sweep, they had to go to the next series, and they couldn't pitch because they pitched 3 straight days.
Yeah. The Indians wins against the Tigers 5-3, 4-2, 2-1, 4-2, 9-6. Just missed outside.
Ball well off the plate.
Tried to get him to chase, and he's able to hold up. That pitch looked a little closer than the previous one. Now the count even at 2-2. Berry singled his last time up. And Smitty misses down and in, a full count. The payoff pitch. Oh, my.
Wow, is right. That's not high.
Take another look here. I need a second look.
Well, I need a third look. I mean, where's this pitch?
That's a strike.
Well,
I mean, that's right at the top of the strike zone.
That's at the belt. Come on. I mean, there's a side look at.
Wow.
I mean, seriously.
And now Miguel Cabrera gets a chance with 2 down, and he's 0 for 3 on the night. Santana's going to go out and talk with Joe Smith. Here comes Scott Radinsky as well. All right, so he didn't call the high strike to Quentin Berry. This is the last pitch to Miguel Cabrera.
I would say that's low compared to the one being up.
But it was a strike he called earlier.
It was. I know it. That one might have been a little low, but I mean the pitch before to walk Berry was a strike.
Two down, a runner at first, and a 2-0 count on Miguel Cabrera as Radinsky heads back to the dugout. Second inning in a row where the inning should have been over. Cabrera drives it deep center. Brantley back on the track. It's gone, and we're tied at 2. So the bad call comes back to hurt here in the 7th. As Miguel Cabrera picks up his 24th home run of the year, RBIs number 80 and 81.
Well, 2-0 count. You know he's going to be sitting on one thing. That sinker coming in, he didn't quite get it in enough. This guy can hit, boys. I mean, he stayed right into the big part of the ballpark and so strong. So the close pitch on 3-2 that walks, and 2-1 or 2-0 count, and you can see Smitty upset. This ball game is tied, and the unfortunate thing, Jimenez gets no decision for his efforts tonight.
Prince Fielder takes a strike. Base hit his last time up. As Dribble Cabrera throws out Fielder. And we've reached the 7th inning stretch. We're all even at 2. 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic's free walking program, Let's Move It. Mondays at Progressive Field and the Metro Parks Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. In from our Panini camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Doug Fister will stay on to work the 7th for Detroit. He'll face Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Johnny Damon. Breaking ball down low, ball one to Carlos Santana, who is 2 for 2 on the night. He doubled and scored in the second. He drove in a run with a base hit in the fourth. And a lazy pop-up, shallow left, Barry over. He's got it one away.
Well, Gaylord Perry bobblehead giveaway will take place on Sunday, August 12th. It'll be against the Boston Red Sox. Will be in town. The first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home a bobblehead of the 1972 Cy Young Award winner. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Tigers with a couple of guys up in their bullpen as Travis Hafner steps to the plate 0 for 2 on the night. Hafner flied to center in the second, struck out his last time up. The 1-0 fouled back. Down on the count, of ball and 2 strikes. There's a long drive, deep left center. Barry and Jackson converge. Off the wall. And now it caroms back toward the infield. Hafner around second, on his way to third. And the throw not in time. Pronk with a 1-out triple. Now let's see if we get a pinch runner for him. He may be out of gas. That's probably as far as he's run in a long time, coming off that knee surgery a month ago.
Well, Hafner hits it deep to the gap in left center field. Both outfielders converged on the ball. One's got to fall off and wait, and the other one's got to play. It almost looked like if Barry was going to go out there and go for the ball, then that means Jackson should have backed him up. Not many triples in this ballpark, especially for a guy like Travis Hafner, but I'll tell you what, once it deflected by him, he was on and running. It's a 1-out triple, and Marson's going to do the pinch running. So a big hit by Pronk.
Aaron Cunningham at the plate now with Marson at third and 1 out. Inside ball 1. Cunningham, who came on for defense, now batting in a critical situation here in the 7th. And he fists it foul. 1-1.
Well, does Manny have the guts to put a squeeze play on with this guy at the plate?
Pfister sets. Here comes the squeeze.
There you go.
Pfister scoops to the plate. He's safe. Marson kicked it away from Avila. And now Cunningham on his way to second. The Indians have the lead 3-2.
That's what you got to do. Get one home. That's the old squeeze play. Nicely done. Manny put it on at the right time. Pfister made a heck of a play to try and get Marson.
Really did.
You know, to come off the mound, he's got quick feet. And watch, he's going to flip it in. Here comes Marson. You just put the ball down and play. Good job by Cunningham. Pfister scoops it, but the throw had too much on it for Avila. And Marson slides in safe. That'll have to be an error on Pfister because he throws it past. and allows Cunningham to go to second base.
A sacrifice and an error and an RBI. You know, we talked about this yesterday. Maniac, his philosophy on the bunt. But and you said there are situations, though. Sometimes when the situation calls for it, you got to do it.
Well,
and it called for it there.
It was screaming for it
with
there.
A guy who hasn't played much this year, Cunningham.
It was screaming for it. It was a good call by Manny. Right situation. Cunningham, give him credit. He got the job done, put it in fair territory. They get the go-ahead run, and they come back and respond to that home run by Cabrera. So the Hafner triple, the squeeze play. So they're back on top.
Casey Kochman 1 out of 2 on the night. Spun out of the way. Pfister ready with the 2-1. Kochman takes a strike. It's 2-2. Line drive to third. Cabrera grabs it, 2 down. Well, every time the Indians homer this year, Rick and I each donate $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50 per homer. Our season total, $5,280. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Jack Hanahan is 0 for 2 on the night. He is lined out and hit into a double play. We got a ball that got loose from the bullpen out onto the outfield grass. They'll retrieve that. Back out of play. Twins and White Sox tied at 1. They're in the 4th inning. Now the Indians have gone ahead of the Tigers 3-2 here in the 7th. The 1-1. Jack fouls it over toward the on-deck circle. Pastano will be coming on to pitch the 8th. A little bit outside. Just over 100 for Pfister, and Hanahan strikes out to end the inning. But Manny Acta goes to the suicide squeeze, and the Indians regain the lead 3-2.
Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
We go to the 8th inning here at Progressive Field. 3-2 Tribe on top. Vinny Pastano will now take over. 44th appearance, 3-0, 1.54 ERA, 52 strikeouts in 41 innings of work.
Well, they turned it over to Joe Smith. He gave up a 2-run homer. They come back, they get a run. They're turning it over. Pastano with a 1-run lead. He's going to have Young, Bosch, and Peralta.
And a slider for strike one to Delman Young. Hit up the middle and a base hit for Delman Young. Tigers get their leadoff man aboard here in the 8th. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to Chicago where the Minnesota Twins have tied it up here in the 4th inning. Josh Willingham, a solo home run. That's his 24th of the year. It's 1-1. They're in the 5th inning in Chi-Town. Twins and White Sox. Matt, back to you.
Thanks, Al. I don't know that the Twins have played great baseball, but they're only a half game behind Kansas City now for 4th place in the Central. And as bad as things started out this year for Minnesota, I mean, they're still 16 games below 500, but it looked like they pretty much had a lock on last place in the division.
They played better recently. They're scoring some runs. They got some guys that can hit a little bit.
Bosch looks at a ball down low. It's 2-0. Right back to Pastano. He turns, fires to Cabrera, on to Kochman. Double play. Pastano and the Tribe turn 2 here in the 8th to wipe out a potential Tiger rally.
Big double play because the Tigers have turned 3. Pastano snags that ball, throws a little wide at second. Cabrera, no problem. He handles it, goes on to first. They get the double play, boy, just what Vinny needed. Nicely done.
Down low. Low and away. Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Three balls, no strikes. And Peralta with a 4-pitch walk. So the inning stays alive for Alex Avila. Don Kelly will pinch run for Peralta at first. Alex Avila 0 for 2. He walked back in the second inning. And it's ball one. You normally don't see Vinny Pistano with 7 balls and only 3 strikes. He missed badly with that one. It's 2-0.
He wants the ball. He doesn't want to hear anything. He knows he's got under it, and he's not throwing it right there. I don't know what Santana's going to tell him.
No, I don't know if it's a case where he just wants him to slow down.
Slow it down a little bit.
You know, Vinny's a guy, he's going 100 miles an hour. He sprints in out of the bullpen. He's like a charging bull, man. He didn't back down from anything or anybody. But sometimes you do need to just take a breath, step back, refocus, recalibrate. Avila sends one deep to left. Back is Cunningham. He's there. He's got it. Inning over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It remains 3-2 Cleveland. 3-2 try, bottom of the 8th inning. Left-hander Phil Koch coming on for Detroit. 44th appearance for the southpaw. 3.18 ERA.
Well, he's a left-hander that gets it up there about 94. 35 strikeouts in his 39 2/3 innings. He's coming on to face the top part of the lineup, with Chu leading it off. Santiago comes into the game at shortstop in place of Peralta, who they pinch ran for. So the Indians with a 1-run lead, and they're looking to add on.
Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 2 with a walk will lead it off. Choo with a drive to deep right center field. That's in the gap. Closing in a hurry. Bosch dives, and he makes the catch.
Boy, oh boy, I didn't know if he knew he had that ball or what. It looked like he really wanted to dive and land on his belly, but it looked like he realized he was going to catch it. He had a long way to go, and he does. That's a fine running catch. He was thinking he had to stretch out. Then he finally just reaches out there, and it goes into the glove. Nice play. Yeah, Koch, you got to love that on your first hitter. If he doesn't catch it, it's a double.
There's Drupal Cabrera, 2 for 3 on the night. Back over the screen on the bunt attempt.
I was watching Koch come out of the bullpen. He comes out like Pastano does. They come out in a full sprint. Well, that poor guy's got nothing to show for his work tonight, and he did the bulk of it.
Now, Rick, only one time this year have Justin Masterson and Ubaldo Jimenez been the winning pitchers in back-to-back games. They had an opportunity tonight.
Yeah, and if they could have held on. The funny thing, this is going to be his third no decision. 8 and 9 coming into it. This is his 20th start. It's only his third no decision of the year. And, the times he's had his no decisions, he's pitched beautifully. It was opening day when he went 7 innings, gave up the 1 hit, the 2 runs. His other no decision was in St. Louis, 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run. And here again, he didn't give up a run, and he gets a no decision on 3 games where he could very easily have wins.
Popped him up. Avila back to the screen. Out of room. The only other time this year Masterson and Jimenez won back-to-back was when Justin got the win in the series finale here at home against Cincinnati, and Jimenez pitched that gem down in Houston when he shut out the Astros. And the Indians won 2-0. Too much time. Cabrera steps back. Cabrera golfs one toward left center. That'll split him. That'll go to the wall. As Drupal on his way to second, he's in safely with a 1-out double.
He got the ball down in Cabrera's wheelhouse. down in the zone that he loves it down there, and he plugs the gap in left center field.
Fourth extra base hit tonight for the Indians. It's their third double.
He hit a pretty good pitch. Watch where this one is. Down. Look at that. Give me a little 7-iron, boy, and I mean, he hit it. Plugs it in the gap.
Why is it always a 7-iron?
Because you can hit those nice and pure. I guess.
Why not a 5-iron?
That could be a 5-iron. That's fine with me. That was a 5-iron.
Whatever. He drove it to the gap,
he did.
man. Jason Kipnis, 1 out of 3 with a double and a run scored. And Kipnis down on the count 0-2. Three runs on 10 hits for the Indians. They've left 3 on base tonight. 2 runs, 9 hits for Detroit. They've stranded 9. Kipnis sends a high pop to right. Bosch is there. And 2 down. That'll leave it up to Michael Brantley. Our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Well, as Drupal Cabrera was bidding, or has a 3-hit night. And Kipnis was trying for his second of the night. Try to get him home. Now it'll be up to Michael Brantley. Brantley, an infield hit back in the 4th. Right back. How about Phil Coke? He's thrown 11 pitches, 10 strikes.
Well, that's what you like to see when you're coming out of the bullpen. He hasn't messed around. Like to see him throw Michael one right here, and he gets a base hit to add on.
Breaking ball caught the corner. We're in the bottom of the 8th with the Indians on top 3-2. Chris Perez ready in the tribe pin to come on for the 9th. 2-strike pitch. Downstairs. Brantley lines one towards center. Great jump by Jackson, and he's there to get it to end the inning. We'll go to the 9th. Chris Perez will try to save it when we come back. 3-2 Tribe as we go to the ninth. And Chris Perez will be coming on to try to save it for the Indians. Omar Infante, Austin Jackson, Quentin Berry due up for Detroit. CP looking for his 28th save on the year.
Well, you would love to have a 1-2-3 inning. That's why when you look back at that 2-out walk that Pistano had, you bring up that other guy to the plate. You certainly don't want to have to face Cabrera if you don't have to. But all 5 wins by the Indians, CP has saved this year. So an opportunity on there again to get his 6th of the year against the Detroit Tigers.
Fastball right down the heart of the plate for a strike to even the count. Upstairs, couldn't catch up to the cheese. And it's 1-2. Hit to right, Choose there. Makes the catch, 1 away. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the 7th inning, Aaron Cunningham's only at bat of the night. A perfectly executed suicide squeeze with Lou Marson pinch running at third. He came home.
Nicely done.
The Indians took a 3-2 lead. Last time they had a suicide squeeze to take the lead, last year against Boston when they won a 1-0 game against the Red Sox.
I remember it well. It was Cabrera that laid down the squeeze.
Scoring Adam Everett in that case.
It was off Daniel Bard.
Jackson looks at a slider, 1-1.
You talk about exciting plays in baseball. A lot of people think the triple might be, but I'll tell you what, that suicide squeeze play is about as good as it gets. When it works, it's a thing of beauty.
And that's why it's so exciting, because there's a lot that can go wrong.
Right. But when it works, and now and you get one down and you have a chance to win the game on it, it's a beautiful thing.
Austin Jackson awaits the 1-2. A little bit too high. In the air, right field, Chu. He's got it, 2 down. The batter will be Quentin Berry, who has singled, walked, stolen a base, and scored a run tonight. And the pitch is outside for ball 1. Swung on and missed. Paints the outside corner. And Perez and the Indians 1 strike away from taking the opener in this Very important series. Ground ball to second. Kipnis has it. Throws him out, and the Indians win it. 3-2 is your final score tonight as the Indians go above 500. And they make it 6 out of 7 against the Tigers this year as Perez gets his 28th save, his 6th against Detroit this season. And with that victory, the Indians go to 49-48. The Tigers drop to 52-43, and the Indians move to within 3 games of first place now in the American League Central Division. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, it can't be any other play than the squeeze play. Cunningham at the dish. Marson pinch running for Hafner, who tripled right before that. He gets the ball in fair territory. Pfister, a beautiful job to get the ball, but throws it past Avila behind the plate. And then Cunningham able to get to second base, but that's really done nicely. They come right back. They get the run. That's the go-ahead run. That's the winning run as it stands out. So a nice job all the way around by Marson, Cunningham, and Maniacta making the call.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank. Earn double rewards points during the KeyBank Summer of Rewards. Now the Tigers came in here. They had won 13 of their last 15, but the Indians cool them off with a big win tonight. And a big reason for that is standing by with Katie Witham.
Thanks, Matt. Ubaldo, the Indians pick up a big win over Detroit tonight. It seemed like you were able to really get in a good rhythm out there, had your splitter working. What do you feel like worked best for you, though?
I think all my breaking balls, they were really good, especially my split. I threw a lot of changeups, too, and I was able to throw the slider over, like first pitch, 1-1. So I think all my breaking balls, they were really good.
Historically, you've pitched well against Detroit. I know you like pitching against these guys, and specifically Miguel Cabrera today. 3 times you faced him, 3 times you shut him down. What was your approach against him?
Well, I mean, he's one of the best hitters in the major league, so I think as a pitcher you have to go after him. Because if you fall behind him, I mean, it's going to be really tough to get him out.
You won the game today with that squeeze play. I know you were watching from the dugout. What did you see on that play?
Well, it was a good call by Manny. I mean, and especially a good performance by Cunningham. I mean, it's really tough to have to bunt, especially in that situation, running on third base. So it was a really good play.
The Indians have now won 6 of the last 7 games against the Tigers. What do you feel like this team has been able to do against Detroit this season?
I think it's every time we face Detroit, we get better, we get really inspired because they're one of the best teams in the major league, and right now they're in first place. So I think like all the guys, they bring the best out of each other every night we face Detroit. But I mean, everything's been good.
Absolutely. Great job tonight, Ubaldo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, listen it back over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. Big win for the Indians tonight. No getting around that. 3-2 is your final score. We're back with a final thought coming up next.